The face of science during the COVID-19 pandemic is now facing questions from a select House subcommittee. Dr. Anthony Fauci is retired, but he really became a household name during the pandemic. You can see some of that testimony underway here live. House Republicans have been grilling him for hours at this point about his response to COVID-19. House Democrats say their Republican colleagues are focusing on unsubstantiated claims against Fauci instead of the facts. Congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed joins us live now. Nate, we've watched some of this testimony. It has been heated at times. What stands out to you of what we've seen so far?
Well, look, this is an opportunity, as many committee hearings are, for members to kind of have their one-on-one time, pretty much 5 minutes each with that witness, Dr. Anthony Fauci, who, of course, was high up in the Trump administration as the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the National Institutes of Health. He resigned, of course, that position early in the Biden administration. He retired effectively, but he's back up on Capitol Hill for the first time since resigning the federal government. He's being faced with, numerous questions, but a lot of the partisanship has really come to the front row here. I want to point out a moment that happened just a short time ago with Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who had refused to call him doctor, and then getting into it with her Republican colleagues who said, no, you actually have to call Dr. Fauci a medical doctor. Take a listen.
Do the American people deserve to be abused like that, Mr. Fauci? Because you're not doctor. You're Mr. Fauci in my few minutes. No, I don't need your answer. I want to talk about this right here.
Mr. Chairman,
Fauci,
objection. Objection.
I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time, Mr. Raskin.
Gentlelady will suspend.
In my time, that man does not deserve to have a license. As a matter of fact, it should be revoked, and he belongs in prison.
And while the Republican-led subcommittee came out with some information earlier this month showing that Dr. Fauci and other officials at the NIH during his time there had tried to, well, not him specifically, but members of his team had tried to obfuscate or seek to sometimes avoid public disclosure through Freedom of Information Act requests. He has fielded a number of questions about that. He's also fielded questions about whether he believes COVID-19 was started in a lab. There's a lot of Republicans in the committee who are content with that explanation, somewhat of a contested explanation. Dr. Fauci maintaining that it was naturally through natural transmission, that it was not through a lab leak or experimentation. I mean, again, this is someone who's out of government, who's answering for his work at early COVID-19. Republicans especially hitting him over that 6-foot limit between people, along with wearing masks. Those have long been contentious issues. Democrats in the committee, kind of in contrast to what we've seen from the Republican majority, have spent much of their time defending Dr. Fauci. Here's Representative Jamie Raskin, the ranking member of the overall House Oversight Committee.
Would you have any reason to cover up any new scientific evidence relating to the origins of the COVID-19 virus?
Absolutely not, and that's the reason why it was important to get people together to discuss this in a transparent way.
Have you spent your whole life trying to determine the causes of infectious diseases and then to stop them to protect the American people?
Yes, I have.
Partisanship on full display once again on Capitol Hill, especially with this contentious hearing. As you can see, it is still ongoing. Dr. Fauci answering the questions of the Republican staff director of this committee, according to C-SPAN, who is currently questioning him about the COVID-19 pandemic. Again, this is a lengthy hearing. There's a lot of members in this committee, and this is a committee that has existed since COVID-19. Republicans, when they took control of the House of Representatives a couple of years ago, basically tried to change the focus of this committee to looking more into the origins of COVID-19, as well as the handling of various NIH officials of the COVID-19 pandemic. So you can see Dr. Fauci getting somewhat animated right now on Capitol Hill while being questioned by the Republican staff director.